Welcome to Rick's Scale Model Fix, and today we're going to be looking at Kinetic's brand new Harrier Gr1-Gr3 2-in-1 kit. So this has been eagerly anticipated for a while now, and fits in well with the brand's other boxings of Harriers, such as the T-Bird, the FRS1 and the FA2. Having built all three of the previous models, I'm looking forward to getting this one on the workbench. They're a nice straightforward build, got a few tricky areas around the intakes but nothing too taxing. So having a nice look around the box there, we've got some gorgeous box art. I'd have that up on the wall, and that's fantastic. And we've got some decals printed by Cartograph and designed by Cross Delta. It's saying the parts count is 240 plus. Just round the side of the box we've got some info regarding the airframe, a photo of a preserved example looking as though that's the Duxford one, and it's saying the model features include parts for the Gr1-Gr3, two types of vertical tails and different noses, laser nose with and without the I-band transponder bulge and aerial, original short fin and taller fin with the radar warning receiver fairing, original pointed tail sting and radar warning receiver fitted, new inner wing pylons for the RAF, 7 markings in total for the Gr1s and Gr3s, new outrigger ties for the Harrier Gr1 and Gr3, and original pointed nose. On the other side of the box you've got the beautiful artwork there for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 as previously mentioned, and it'll be quite interesting set of markings there from the Harriers in the early scheme, with the dark grey and green upper surfaces with light aircraft grey underneath, to the total wraparound dark grey and green as seen in the Falklands and later service life. So all in all it looks promising. Let's take a look inside at the box contents. So let's begin by taking a look at the instruction booklet and the build sequence of the kit. As always, it's looking as though it's a photocopied example of the instructions supplied in the box. However, it must be noted that you can get high-res images from the Kinetic Model's website that include the call-outs for the painting and decaling diagrams at the back. So, turning the page, on the inside of the front cover we have the all-important parts map. Now we can see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sprues, a small etch press and a clear section for the canopies and the lenses. On page 3 we've got colour cross-reference chart to major brands such as Ammo, Vallejo, Mr Colour, Tamiya and Humbrol. And the build sequence commences on page 4. So we've got step 1. Sees construction of the ejector seat, so just be careful that we're picking up the correct one for the type, because the American type is included in the box, as we'll see later. Cockpit tub is then assembled, and it's nice to see some detailed painting call outs mentioned along the way, with an exploded diagram there showing the colour of the individual instrument panel and side consoles. Stage 4 sees the mechanism to have the exhaust nozzles rotating. In the previous builds I've left that out, I don't see any use for it. And then we're on quickly to getting the fuselage halves together with the bell intake. That's quite a tricky fit on the previous builds, but with care it does fit. And it's interesting to note the colour call out there, that they are different colours. So one side will be green and the other side will be dark grey, not white as seen on some of the other aircraft. Moving on quickly, and we can see the exhaust nozzles being fitted with the heat shield to the rear of the fuselage. I tend to leave these off until later in the build. And that intake arrangement, you've got the open auxiliary doors or closed auxiliary doors, depending on how you want to depict your model, whether it's in flight or on the ground. So it'll be interesting to see the fit of these parts, as it is interesting on the kit, and it is probably the only weak area, but with care and an alternative build sequence it can be quite a pain-free operation. we've got some wings coming on with flight controls, some photo etched. It's again usually a little bit tricky to find the location correctly for, and in the past I've just opened these slots with a razor saw just to aid their location. Everything coming together to complete the fuselage there in stage 10, so you've got choice of tails depending on which model you're making. So it is highlighted markings 5, 6 and 7, or 1, 2, 3 and 4, so depending on which airframe you want to depict. And the wings coming on. Wheels made from 2 separate halves with a hub. Not a great fan of that idea, but they do work. The kit and the undercarriage legs. And then stage 12 we've got the nose section, so depending on whether you want to be doing the Gr1 or the Gr3. Different arrangements of the rear end as well, with radar warning receivers included in the rear end or not. Stage 13 then turns the model on its back, and we're looking at undercarriage doors and actually fitting the undercarriage. So we've got some air brakes and some use of etch fret there as well. Outriggers, and I'm liking this colour call out, so it's an improvement on the instructions from Kinetic, so well done. Undercarriage going in, usually pays preference here to remove the mounting pin, put the outriggers on with the nose gear first, and then adjust the height of the main gear leg so that it actually touches the ground. All the aerials and smaller parts coming on in stage 15, with the canopy in stage 16. Got the refueling probe there as well. Page 12 sees attention turned to munitions, so you've got the Aiden gun pods for underneath, some fuel tanks, sidewinders, rocket pods ×4, Royal Navy rocket pods and centerline pylons, and all the additional pylons underneath. And there's a lovely marking weapons configuration chart there on page 13 showing what can be included. However, some of these aren't included in the kit, unfortunately. It would have perhaps been nice to see some of those included. Turning the page, we've got black and white diagrams for the 7 markings. So basically we're going right through from 1975 with the Gr3 without the laser nose, Gr3 without the laser nose, Gr3, Gr3, no Gr1s, have I missed those? Oh, there's the Gr1s, so 1970s, so quite a comprehensive set of markings and decals. It's just a pity you're going to have to choose whether you want to do a Gr1 or a Gr3 from the kit, or alternatively you could buy 2 and do 1 of each. So the build looks quite promising. As we've just looked at the markings in the back of the instruction book, we'll look at the decal sheet. It's quite comprehensive. We've got lots of stencil data on there, perfectly printed. Nice touch to see that we've got the cutouts for the auxiliary intake doors there, and the small sections to add. And colours look right, text looks right. Printed by Cartograph, so aftermarket quality's got to be assured. Designed by Cross Delta, so looks pretty good. So moving on to the sprues and the plastic. This is sprue N, and this looks to be the new sprue for the kit, the Gr1-Gr3. We've got a new tooled fuselage, up to Kinetic's gold standard certainly. Lovely crisp moulding, however there are some of the surface details just starting to show through. The nose section there, I don't know whether they're actually fully blown sink marks or not. We've got the nose section there with the clear camera ports and the Gr3. Interesting to note that the nose section has been moulded as a solid plastic part representing the metal eyelid that covers the glass optic section. Got the intakes, canopy rail, in-flight refueling probe. On the inside, pretty much devoid of any real detail apart from some minor cockpit structure. You've got a new set of Outrigger wheels, hopefully with no ground locks or tie down eyelets on there. Taking a look at the wings next, and there's two sprues containing wings in the kit. So we've got sprue B, which dates back to their FA2 kit and isn't the correct type to be used in this this model. And then we've got sprue I, which is the wing that was the same in their FRS1 kit, and you've got some of the weapons there, and just basically straight lifted out the FRS1, so shouldn't be any surprise to anybody that's built the kit previously. That lovely wing surface detail there. I don't know if the camera can sort of pick that out. All in all, not too bad. A couple of duplicated weapon sprues included in the kit. Unfortunately, it's not really including any RAF type munitions such as bombs, cluster bomb units or anything like that, which is a little bit of a disappointment, but they are available elsewhere. So if you wanted to pick your model with those on, going to probably be the easiest option is to look along the brassing resin line of add-ons from Edward. Smaller sprue in the kit containing the FA2 nose and the wheels, and those Aiden gun pods, air brake bays, some pylons and the wheels. Not a great fan, like I said before, about the split hubs and halves, but they do work. Just need a little bit of seam clean up around the wheel tread area. Another section of sprue there covers Outrigger wheels of the earlier type, flight control surfaces, in-flight refueling probe, underneath ventral strakes and the undercarriage legs. Does seem to be quite a bit of duplication in the kit, so again here we've got the earlier sprue from, I think, in dating back to the FA2 kit. It's got the cockpit and the instrument panels, the ejector seats, etc. for that kit, so I'm thinking the only thing you're going to be using off this sprue would be the tail planes. And it's clearly, you can see looking at this sprue, just how far Kinetic have come on in their moulding technology since the early release of the first Harrier kit. Last plastic sprue, and again we've got some more intake sections and those two different vertical tails. You've got the two ejector seats and the instrument panels there for the Gr1, Gr3. A couple of more pylons, rudders, and some smaller aerial and vent details, some sway braces and what have you. Clear parts from Kinetic are always crystal clear and well produced, and these are no different. And the MDC, the micro detonation cord in the top of the canopy, is just fantastic. A little bit more heavy than the T-Bird one, which is a good thing because it was virtually invisible in that kit. Last but not least is a small section of photo etched, including we've got some slime lights there, that'll be for the American boxing, seat harnesses, wing fences, and a section of brass there for the rear ventral strake under the tail that's got the radio warning receivers in it. So all in all, it's a fantastic opportunity for a new tool, Harrier Gr3. Long overdue. The only other option really being the ancient Airfix offering, and one that I can't wait to get on the bench in due course, and the full video build will follow. So thanks for watching, stay well, keep safe and enjoy your modelling. Until next time, take care.